Hi there, I'm Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, and Wednesdays on my channel tends to be more of a creative day. I've got a few bits and pieces to run through with you first before I start the whole creating thing. So first things first, I have ordered myself a new set of watercolours. I thought I would open them with you today, and I want to start a little colour chart to go inside. I'm really pleased. I haven't tried them. They are brand new, and they are looking very nice. So I want to open them all and make a little colour chart to go in the front there. So that's number one. And number two, I want to be working in my traveller's notebook today. It's getting very chunky. I might have to move out of one of these and split them so that, cause it's just two in there at the moment. There's so much, but it's just bulking out a little bit, so I might need to change things around. But I've just printed off some Disney photos, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of Disney creative journaling, and if I've got time I might even do a scrapbooking page as well. I've got my 12 by 12 white piece of paper there, but I'm going to be using the watercolours in my traveller's notebook and perhaps my scrapbooking page if I get around to it as well. And one other thing, I got sent this lovely collection from papermaze.co.uk. They sent me them as a free gift to work with, and the collection's called La La Love. It's crepe paper, and I thought these papers would be absolutely perfect for my Disney scrapbooking. I'm really excited about using these, and I also got sent matching stickers, and I think they might be, well, I think they are stickers. I was thinking they were rub-ons, but I think they're stickers. And I've got some lovely thickers as well. So I'm going to be using those. I will link those up below for you. So thank you very much to Paper Maze. And I think that's it. Get me in the creative mood. I've got a candle going. It is under the mistletoe. I know it's, what are we? Oh, February. I can't say that word. I don't know if you ever noticed that before. But it just smells so nice. It's not Christmassy, it's just a really lovely clean smell. So I've got that going, and I've just opened myself a naughty can of Pepsi Max because I love this stuff in the afternoon. So let's get creating. If you like this kind of video, by the way, I do creative videos on Wednesdays. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So this is where I'm going to be doing the watercolours first. I've got a load of jars and paintbrushes. And what I'm doing, I just want to see how the colours paint. Geraldine always does this, and I always think it looks really lovely. I'll link Geraldine up below so you can go and have a look. She's always got lovely painty things. But I thought, I've got this A4 piece of watercolour paper, which I have just trimmed down slightly. It fits in the lid perfectly. I've just trimmed the end down. And I'm just going to test each watercolour out to see how they look. Now, each one is individually wrapped. I've undone one here already. This is fruit green, and then I can just pop them all in the tin. So I'm taking each one out. I'm marking on with a Sharpie so I know the name of the paint. Popping it back in the tray like that. You can see each one clips in. You can see that I've written on it. I'm finding it easier, so I've got the next one out already because it's so much easier to take them out. They are quite fiddly. And then adding the colour to my chart like that, and then writing on what the name of the paint is like that, and then you can just see how the colours actually appear when you use them. So I've finished doing the paints now. You can really see the colours. Aren't they vibrant? I'm so happy with those. I managed to get a little bit of water when I wiped it, and I had paint on my finger. So, but I haven't needed as many as I expected actually, so I will cut that down, and I'm really happy with that. I'm going to get my traveller's notebook out, and we're going to start a Disney page. Just been printing off photos. I've got Savannah here, and I'm still working on the road trip. So I've actually, I've printed off these photos, but I'm not actually in the mood for scrapbooking these at the moment, documenting them. So I've just written down in pencil what I've got planned for those pages, and then that way I could work out where I'm going to be scrapbooking. So I'm going to be working on this page here, I think. So as I already mentioned, I got sent this book from Crepe Paper
from papermaze.co.uk to use, and there are 24 sheets and they're all different designs. Some are like matte and others you've got like a metallic finish on there. They all just vary. That one's a metallic one. Really, really lovely designs. And I'm going to use two. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. Just figuring out how I'm going to do this. I think what I might do is do it 3/4 and use a strip of this on the side and the remainder on that side. I think that's what I will do. I just want to address this problem to start with before I start working on my journaling. I got asked recently if my pages separate and the staples come out in the Simple Stories notebooks, and yes they do. You can see it's happening here. I thought it was just mine because I've got so much in them. They're really bulky, but maybe it isn't. And what I do to help this, I use a long reach stapler to stick the pages back together again. It's a bit of a pain. I love the notebooks so much. I really do. They're such a lovely size, but it is a pain. Just be careful. Like here, it's sticking out a little bit. Here it is as well. I'm going to push this one back in because obviously staples can give you a nasty cut if you catch yourselves on them. Thinking about it, actually, by me sticking the paper over the staple as well, that kind of helps keep it together a little bit. So I folded that off center, as you can see, and now I've got a smaller strip. I really wanted the red heart there to show out, and this one will as well. And now I can stick them in place. I've left the planer for the middle so that when I use the watercolors they will show out. So the paper is in. I've folded this one. I've got the double-sided sticky tape on both sides, and the easiest way I find to do this is stick it in like that. Fold over the page, press down, and that's in. We're now going to make a heart stencil, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I've got some scrap card here, which I am going to fold over, and this will give you the perfect heart. Fold it over. I did recently do something very similar. I did a heart themed project, a whole load of heart themed projects actually, for Valentines, which I will link up below in case you missed that. And that gives me a lovely, lovely stencil like that. Actually, we could do that in half, couldn't we? I think that would work really well. I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to take my watercolors and we're going to go reds and pinks. Let's hold it in. What I don't want is for it to bleed out underneath too much. So let's hold it in place so it can't come out too much. We're going to mix the pinks a little bit. And now we'll lift that, and that's not bad going. Quite happy with that. And I like that it's not perfect as well. I think it adds to it. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to go around with a black pen. Now I've decided, one, to add a little bit of colour, and two, to tidy up these edges before I move on with anything else. I'm going to be using this Simple Stories washi tape from the Say Cheese 3 collection. There, that adds a nice bit of colour actually. That looks nice and tidy. Before I move on, I am going to take a Sharpie. I might actually take the wider bit. Yeah. And doodle around the outside, and that's what I mean about not worrying about it being perfect around the edges. I think it actually adds to it. Happy with that. And now I can add my photos. Stuck those in, and I am actually going to go back around, and then I'm going to add some little word stickers as well. So I've stuck in some of the stickers there, as you can see, and now I've just printed. It's one of my favourite ways to journal. Printing off in Word. I've used a typewriter font. Stick these in at slight angles, I think. And I've just journaled here how nothing beats the excitement of heading through the Disney gates for the first time of a trip. It's so true. I just can't put that feeling into words. Maybe that's why going to Disney is it's almost like an obsession in some ways. Right, some of these stickers, I think they need a little bit of help with the sticking. But yeah, it's just such a special feeling. It's a unique feeling and I just can't explain it. Any of you feel the same? Any other Disney lovers here? I don't know what words to use. It's almost like a butterflies feeling. I feel like when we first arrive in Florida and like that first morning of waking up, it's like waking up on Christmas Day. The butterflies. Right, let's get some doodled lines around the outside and then I think I've done. And to finish it off, I'm just going to add a few little red heart stickers. These are really nice. They've got like a transparent background. I'll add a little bit of red to the page and then I'm done. I'm happy with this page. And then I'm going to go on and do a scrapbooking page. I'd love to know actually, are any of you Disney scrapbookers? Do you also document your trips? There's my page. I'm really happy with that. So this is now dry and I've stuck it in. I'm really pleased about that. I trimmed off the bottom, folds up. Obviously you've just got to make sure that everything is dry before you close it. For this next layout, I'm going to be using these 3 papers and I'm going to cut them into strips. So I've cut them into strips, different lengths, and just place them on a white background. Really happy with that. Colours go just perfect with my Magic Kingdom castle, my Cinderella castle photo, and I think the white frame around the photo really works well with having the white bits in between. Using this, I'm going to call it a stencil, but it's not really a stencil. It's a really old piece of chipboard that I bought absolutely years ago. I used the chipboard hearts and I've just always kept it, and as you can see it's been very well used. And I'm going to do this very watery through here using this stencil like that. I don't want it too overpowering. I might go over a few actually. I'm just holding it in place like I did before because I don't want to spread the paint under if I can, because that's when you lose the effect of the hearts. Now I think I might just go over a few little areas with just a little bit of a darker pink, but not loads. This has actually shifted slightly, so I've got to go careful. And for the reveal, I've gone on the outside a little bit there. I'll have to do something to cover that. Ta-da! That looks so pretty. And perfect timing as I need to take my son to work. Right, I'm back from taking my son to work and I've got dinner in the oven and now I'm going to finish this page. I really like how the sides have curled up and I'm actually going to leave it like that, just where I've just added tape in the middle. I really like that. I'm really happy with the colours and I'm going to stick this down. It's just dried really nicely and let's pop that in the middle. It all just goes really well. I'm going to use a couple of these bits here. And I'm also going to be using these stickers that Paper Maze sent to me. The title's in place. I've kind of done some of the letters a little bit off so they're not completely straight. I am just going to add my usual doodly lines. I just think it helps it stand out. And I'm going to do the same with my Sharpie. I find sometimes, because I wouldn't usually use different coloured alphas, but because that's how they come in the pack, by actually adding the black on each of them, it kind of unifies them and just gives them something all in common. I've added obviously the black pen around the photo and some dotted black pen around the love. I'm going to add a few of these stickers as well. So I'm just tidying up and I keep coming back and looking at this layout. I'm not totally happy with it. I feel that I need some yellow and I need some of this teal in there to pull it together. I've decided to paint a border around the outside and I may well journal around that. Now the good thing about me having this chart here, I can actually match it up with the letters. I did go through the papers and try to have a look to see if I've got anything with that colour in, and I don't have anything that I can really use, but I am going to go with that aquamarine blue and see if painting a border around the outside helps. I've also decided to go with a few little yellow bits. Just going to do a few little dots. Decided to turn these dots into little hearts. It's almost like just creating a V shape with your paintbrush. And then once they're dry, I'm going to go over with a black pen, just so it looks a bit more recognizable as a heart shape. And I might just do a few little yellow flickery bits. Let's just hope that doesn't get on the photo. I'll just give you a quick peek. I'm really happy that I went with those flecks of yellow. I am just going around, doodling around the yellow, not all of them, but just some of them, just to help them stand out a bit more, like that. And I think it goes quite well. Even those where they don't look like hearts, I'm still doing the original mark that I actually made on the paper by mistake. So let's add a heart to that as well. I think I'm done. I'm going to add a line here, and that is going to be my journal line. So I've gone around with the paint, the black pen, and I've just journaled around the outside, and I think that tealy colour just ties it all in really nicely. I'm really pleased with how that's come together.
I really hope that you've enjoyed this video today, watching my traveller's notebook come together, and also this scrapbooking page and the paint set as well. I will link up the paint set below. I did buy that myself, and obviously the papers from Crate Paper were gifted to me by Paper Maze, which I will also link up for you. I've thoroughly enjoyed creating, and I love my new paint set. Those colours are so vibrant. Really, really happy. I would love to know, are you a Disney scrapbooker? Do you document your Disney trips? I would also love to know if you do go to Disney. If you are a Disney person, do you document your trips at all? What do you do with all your photos? Do they stay on your phone? Do they stay on your camera? Do you put them in traditional holiday albums? I would love to know what you do with your photos, or any vacation holiday photos for that matter. Let me know how you document your holidays. Thank you so much for watching. I have a vlog coming up on Friday, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you. Take care, have a lovely day. Bye.